H.P. Lovecraft has created some of the scariest beings and monsters throughout history in his literary canon. He is quite literally responsible for the entire genre of cosmic horror. However, it is perhaps the most difficult genre to translate to screen, which is why it very rarely happens, if at all. But if it were possible, which monsters would we like to see? Today on Top 5 Scary Videos, I'm going to be counting down our list of the top 5 scary cosmic horror monsters that need their own movie. Before we begin though, be sure to stick around until the end of the video where I'll be responding to some of your comments. And with that, let's jump in. Coming in at number 5, Yog Sothoth. Yog Sothoth is a cosmic entity and outer god born of the nameless mist. He is the progenitor of Cthulhu, Hasta the Unspeakable, and the ancestor of the Vormi. He is also the father of Wilburwatali. Like many Lovecraftian gods, Yog Sothoth has many different appearances throughout various stories of the mythos by various authors. However, there seems to be a common agreement that Yog Sothoth visually manifests as a mass of glowing orbs with eyes or tendrils in some versions, and in others simply the orbs. It is also heavily implied that Yog Sothoth is omniscient and is locked outside the universe, meaning he can know and see all of space-time all at once, which means there is no secret hidden from Yog Sothoth. To quote HBL in the Dunwich Horror, Yog Sothoth knows the gate. Yog Sothoth is the gate. Yog Sothoth is the key and guardian of the gate. Past, present, future, all are one in Yog Sothoth. He knows where the old ones broke through of old and where they shall break through again. He knows where they have trod Earth's fields and where they still tread them, and why no one can behold them and they tread. How terrifying would that be to see on screen? Near impossible, but I'm all here for it. In at number 4, Cthulhu. In The Call of Cthulhu, H.P. Lovecraft describes the statue of Cthulhu as a monster of vaguely anthropoid outline, but with an octopus-like head whose face was a mass of feelers, a scaly, rubbery-looking body, prodigious claws on hind and fore feet, and long, narrow wings behind. Cthulhu has always been described in appearance as resembling an octopus, a dragon, and a human caricature, hundreds of meters tall with webbed human-looking arms and legs and a pair of rudimentary wings on his back. His head is also depicted as similar to the entirety of a gigantic octopus, with an unknown number of tentacles surrounding its supposed mouth. Castro, a Cthulhu cultist, reports that the Great Old Ones are telepathic and knew all that was occurring in the universe. They were able to communicate with the first humans by molding their dreams, thus establishing the Cthulhu cult. However, after R'lyeh had sunk beneath the waves, the deep water full of the one primal mystery through which not even thought can pass had cut off the spectral intercourse. To quote HBL in At the Mountains of Madness, with the upheaval of new land in the South Pacific, tremendous events began. Another race of land, race of beings shaped like octopi and probably corresponding to the fabulous pre-human spawn of Cthulhu, soon began filtering down from cosmic infinity and precipitated a monstrous war which for a time drove the old ones wholly back to the sea. Later peace was made and the new lands were given to the Cthulhu spawn, whilst the old ones held the sea and the older lands. The Antarctic remained the center of the old one's civilization, and all the discoverable cities built there by the Cthulhu spawn were blotted out. Then suddenly the lands of the Pacific sank again, taking with them the frightful stone city of R'lyeh and all the cosmic octopi, so that the old ones were once again supreme on the planet. There is so much more I could say about Cthulhu, but that is the prime reason he needs his own film. I just don't have enough time. In at number 3, NightGaunts. NightGaunts are a species of flying creatures inhabiting Earth's dreamlands. They are described as having smooth whale-like skin, long slender humanoid bodies, curving horns, leather bat-like wings, and a blank expanse of flesh where one would expect a face to be. They revere and worship Nodens as their lord and master. To quote H.P. Lovecraft in The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, but Carter preferred to look at them than at his captors, which were indeed shocking and uncouth black things with smooth, oily, whale-like surfaces, unpleasant horns that curved inward toward each other, bat wings whose beating made no sound, ugly prehensile paws, and barbed tails that lashed needlessly and disquietingly. And worst of all, they never spoke or laughed and never smiled because they had no faces at all to smile with, but only a suggestive blankness where a face ought to be. All they ever did was clutch and fly and tickle. That was the way of the NightGaunts. The NightGaunts are known to haunt various locations across the cosmos. Some gaunts serve the older god Nodens, the lord of the great abyss, others suckle at the black breasts of the outer god Yib-Sil, and do her dark bidding, while others still guard the vast volcano Nagranic deep in the Dreamlands, where they are sometimes mounted and ridden by the ghouls that inhabit that cursed place. Coming in at number 2, Nile Arthur Tap. Nile Arthur Tap, known to many by his epithet the Crawling Chaos, is an outer god god in the Cthulhu mythos. He is the spawn of Azathoth and the creation of H.P. Lovecraft, first appearing in the prose poem Nile Arthur Tap back in 1920. To quote H.P. Lovecraft in The Dreams in the Witch House, Nile Arthur Tap is a tall, lean man of dead black coloration, wholly devoid of either hair or beard, and wearing as his only garment a shapeless robe of some heavy black fabric. His feet were indistinguishable because of the table and bench, but he must have been shod since there was a clicking whenever he changed position. The man did not speak and bore no trace of expression on his small, regular features. He merely pointed to a book of prodigious size which lay upon the table. Nile Arthur Tap differs from other deities in the mythos in the number of ways. Most of the outer gods are exiled like Yog Sothoth and Azathoth, and most of the great old ones are sleeping and dreaming like Cthulhu. However, Nile Arthur Tap is active and frequently walks the earth in the guise of a human being, usually a tall, slim, joyous man. He also has 1,000 other forms and manifestations, most reported to be horrifying and sanity blasting. Now most of the outer gods have their own cults that serve them. Nile Arthur Tap seems to serve as he serves several cults and takes care of their affairs in the outer gods' absence. He also uses human language unlike the other gods and can easily pass for a human being if he chooses to do so. Nile Arthur Tap seems to be deliberately deceptive and manipulative, and even uses propaganda to achieve his goals. In this regard, he is perhaps the most human-like out of all of the outer gods. To quote H.P. Lovecraft again, what his fate would be he did not know, but he felt that he was held for coming of that frightful soul and messenger of infinity's other gods, the crawling chaos Nile Arthur Tap. And finally coming in at number 1, Azathoth. To quote H.P. Lovecraft in The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, outside the ordered universe is that amorphous blight of nethermost confusion with blasphemies and bubbles at the center of all infinity. The boundless demon Sultan Azathoth, whose name no lips dare speak aloud and who gnaws hungrily inconceivable, unlighted chambers beyond time and space amidst the muffled, maddening beating of bowel drums and the thin, monotonous whine of accursed flutes. Azathoth, sometimes called the blind idiot god and nuclear chaos, the demon sultan, the deep dark and the cold one, is an outer god. There can be no definite description of Azathoth because everybody envisions him differently and he is constantly changing. There is however evidence that physical manifestation of Azathoth in the universe is continuous with a spot in the central region of the galaxy, otherwise known as Sagittarius A star, the supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy. Azathoth is a significant malign presence in the Necronomicon, as both Albert Wilmarth and Walter Gilman are horrified at the mere mention of its name, having both read about it in the occult tome. It is also portrayed as a leader in a cosmic upheaval akin to Lucifer's rebellion in the Bible, and is prophesied to return. I quote, "Those daring to oppose the elder gods who ruled from Betelgeuse, the great old ones who fought against the elder gods, were instructed by Azathoth, who was blind idiot god, and by Yog Sothoth. Ye blind idiot, ye noxious Azathoth shall arise from ye middle of ye world, where all is chaos and destruction, where he hath bubbled and blasphemed at ye center witches of all things," which is to say, infinity. All in all, Azathoth is absolutely terrifying and would make for the perfect horror movie. Well, there we have it. You guys agree with that list? Were there any cosmic horror monsters that we missed? Leave us all your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below, and perhaps we can do a part 2. Before I go though, I just want to respond to a few comments from one of our last videos. Top 5 scary demons worse than Satan. Jackie Sin said Lucy is the scariest one of all, period. Literally every single one of you said that. Cal Netherfield said, "Love is the worst demon and the most brutal enemy of mankind since the dawn of time. I suffer its ruthless savages as we speak." Sucks to be you, I guess. Ryan Valino said, "My knowledge of demons slowly builds to unnecessarily high levels thanks to the Queen." You're welcome. My levels also increase. Against my will. Christopher Mendez said, "Clearly the scariest of them all is Lucifer." Yep. Same old, same old. Thank you. And on that note, if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another scary vid. Until next time, see you later. Ye blind idiot, ye noxious Azathoth. I'm just like saying the words, but I don't think it's right. He is also the father of Wilbur Whateley. I always forget how to say this now. Meaning he can know as see. Meaning that he. He's the spawn of Azathoth and the creation of H.P. Lovecraft. These names. His feet were indistinguishable. Oh my god.